been told to leave your emotions at the door, only to burn out 6 months later? Culture doesn't just shape what we do. It shapes how we feel, how we express those feelings, and whether or not we feel safe feeling at all. So in this video, I'm not only going to break that all the way down, but I'm also offering a few daily practices you can do to shift the emotional culture of your workplace. Let's talk about it. The culture of where you work teaches you what's acceptable and what's not. It defines what's celebrated, what's appreciated, and what's ignored. In some cultures, when you're very calm and stoic, it means you're very professional and maybe on a path to get into executive leadership. If you're really joyful and coming with a lot of enthusiasm, you might be seen as being distracted. If you're sharing your frustration, your anger, or when you're upset, you might be discounted as a quality leader or contributor and be seen as ungrateful. Depending on the culture, so often we are conditioned to suppress our emotions. And it's a conditioning that we easily step into because I know for so many of us, we've been taught emotional suppression since we were young. We've been hiding our emotions. Don't cry, don't act up, don't act angry, bottle all that in. We've been taught and we've been learning that for years, even before we got into our professional lives. And now in the professional world, so many cultures continue to condition this. There is this unspoken grit your teeth and bear it. Leave the emotions at the door. It actually reminds me of a diagnostic that we were doing with an organization that we're doing some work with. They're a major leader in the building materials industry. And we did an assessment to understand how are they showing up from an emotional culture standpoint. Their emotional fluency, their literacy, and ultimately their change readiness and their change agility. Well, we asked the question, how are you at sharing feelings during your team meetings? How comfortable are you with sharing your feelings with your team? It was rock solid. 75% say, yes, of course, I share my feelings with my team. And then we asked the question, how often do you conceal your emotions at work? That was 60%. 60% say they conceal their emotions at work. And then another question we asked was, do you feel the need to hide more negative emotions? 50%. 50% say, yes, I can't show negative emotions. We can talk about our feelings as long as they're positive. And I think that goes for so many cultures. As long as you are seen as positive, going with the flow, accepting, excited, grateful, then you will be rewarded. And so many people feel as they get higher and higher up the chain, higher and higher up the hierarchy, they have to continue to hide and conceal, and they really can't express any emotion as long as it's positive. And they really can't express emotion that's not deemed positive. But I'm here to tell you there's a danger in this, and there is a massive opportunity that you're losing by not inviting the full spectrum of emotion into the workplace. Through the work that I've done, continue to do, and I've been doing it for the past several years, when difficult emotions are invited into the work, they serve as signals to invite us to understand where there's opportunity to grow, where there's tension that needs to get alleviated, where individuals might be getting close to burnout and need to get support. And so you're able to identify these places within the work and address them before things go off the rails. And so it's so powerful to invite the full spectrum of emotion across all of the individuals that you employ. There's a great power in that. Because I'm going to tell you, when a culture silences emotion, when it keeps quiet those emotions that are deemed negative, it is silencing and stalling growth. It is silencing real, authentic, meaningful feedback, and ultimately ignoring the really big opportunities that these signal emotions point us into. The next idea I want to talk about is the fact that cultural norms really shape emotional responses to change. The culture will teach and train people how to react to uncertainty, to risk, to ambiguity. There are some cultures out there that prize control and structure. And so when there's a lot of ambiguity and uncertainty and a lot of disruption, there is utter panic. Those cultures right now are suffering. There are other cultures that prize resilience and adaptability and knowing that discomfort invites growth. These are the organizations that are thriving today. If your culture treats change like a threat, guess how your people are going to feel? Threatened. Those cultures that will thrive, that will help deliver breakthrough results and maintain their competitive edge will welcome change, will welcome disruption because it presents opportunity to grow, to evolve, to become better. They will use constant change as their competitive edge. So now I want to talk about the power that you have from where you sit right now to use your role to shift the emotional culture of your organization. Now look, you might be sitting there staring at your screen thinking to yourself, Cassandra, I am not a leader. I have no direct reports. I've only been in this business for a year. Nobody's going to listen to me. I will tell you this right now. You have the power to lead from wherever you sit, even in that seat right now. And here's how. I'm going to offer you a few little daily practices that you can do to start strengthening the emotional culture around you. Start naming your own emotions, naming your own signals. And I invite you to use that framing, right? You can even drop my name. I know that there are these emotions that are more difficult or more negative, like fear and frustration, but I see them as signals, and I think they point me towards opportunities. So say I'm going to start naming them, and I'm going to start exploring where is this fear pointing me to? And I'm going to try to understand what this opportunity is in front of me. Because I trust this discomfort that this fear is inviting, it means I'm about to grow in some way. So start naming those with your team, start naming those with your management. Start validating when you hear emotions being shared by your team, right? And let them know, oh, it sounds like that you're feeling a bit frustrated right now. Or it sounds like you might be overwhelmed. So I just want to state it's okay to have those feelings. And the other practice is to get curious about the emotional energy of others. And it's not simply asking the question, how are you doing? And typically hearing back, I'm fine or things are okay, but rather asking, how are you feeling? And really looking for emotional language, right? Beyond just good, okay, and fine. Make it a point. Ask as many times as you can throughout the day, how are you feeling? How are you feeling, right? Start introducing the normalcy, right? Normalizing using emotions and feelings language. And I want to offer this because these practices, you might be thinking to yourself, Cassandra, if I start showing up like this, asking people about their feelings and talking about my own, I'm going to get written off as a lunatic. Maybe that's the kind of culture that you're in. Make sure you let your people know, let your manager know, I'm trying something different. I know the importance of nurturing a really strong emotional culture. So I'm taking it upon myself to put some practices in play. So you're going to see me showing up a little bit differently, talking about my own feelings and inviting other feelings into the conversation because I know it's going to help us in the long run because we're facing so much change, so much volatility. And I believe this is going to be our secret weapon. And now I have something for free, and I think it's something that's going to help you as you embark upon this journey and these little practices that I've offered if you are deciding to actually do them. So it's actually a free chapter of my book, Change Enthusiasm, How to Harness the Power of Emotion for Leadership and Success. It's going to talk to you about that mindset. It's going to talk about signal emotions, inviting you into an opportunity, and then maintaining agency to make a choice. And so take this first chapter, read through it, and it can actually be a part of you bringing this back to your workforce and the intention that you're going to have to talk more about your feelings and your emotions completely for free. Just download, click the link, get that chapter for free. Okay. Now, until we meet again, you click on another thumbnail, you want to hear me talk more about feelings and emotions and vulnerability. I want you to keep feeling. I want you to keep inviting others to do the same and stepping into your own vulnerability. And above all else, keep authentically rocking.